Hi, I'm Chunky Panday,
And I'm Anupam Kher.
and IMDb has got us together.
To ask each other some questions. Chunky, you want to go first?
बुड्ढा होगा तू भूतनी के अभी तो मैं जवान हूँ साला अपने लाइफ का कोई ऐसा अचीवमेंट नहीं है जिसको याद करके कहेंगे कि वाह क्या मरा इंसान ये
Kher Saab, you've been around for 40 years. Now, if I try to make you do some time travel and take you back to that day when you were going to give the Murat shot for Saransh and you're standing next to the young Anupam Kher and you had to whisper something into his ears, what would you tell that Anupam Kher?
The movie Saransh, my first film, Mahesh Bhatt, who was the director of the film, I have been rehearsing for the film for 6 months, and just 10 days before the shoot of the film to start, I was thrown out of the film.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
On the 20th of December, a friend of mine came and told me the producers have decided to take a very big star at that time, Sanjeev Kumar, because they don't want a newcomer to do, because financially it's not working. So I called up Mr. Bhatt and I said, Bhatt Saab, I'm hearing this rumor that Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, the superstar, is doing this role. And he was very casual about it. And he said, yeah, Anupam, the Rashri production, which was the production house, they don't want a newcomer. So they have taken Sanjeev Kumar. But don't worry, you do the other old man's role. It's not big, but do it. I was horrified. I said, my God. So I packed my luggage. I put it in a cab and I decided to leave the city forever.
Oh my God.
But before I was going to the railway platform station, I said, my grandfather used to say, if you don't expect anything from anybody, you are equal. So I decided that now that I am not expecting anything from Bhatt Saab, I can say anything to him.
Okay.
So I took the cab, I reached his house, I knocked at the door, and he said, fantastic Anupam, that you are doing this so sportingly. You know, the other old man's role is not so good, but you know, you will be seen with this big superstar. And I said, hold on, what's up? I took him to the window and I showed him my cab. I said, that's my cab. I'm leaving the city. But before I leave, I want to tell you that you are the biggest fraud on this earth.
Oh my God.
You're the biggest cheat. I said, you're making a film about truth and you don't have truth in you. How can you make this film? 6 months I've been working on this film, and you suddenly 10 days before you go and get Mr. Sanjeev Kumar. He's a great actor, but this role he cannot do as well as I have done it. As an angry person, I said, and I am cursing you.
श्राप दे दिया?
श्राप दे दिया, हिंदी में बोला. आपको मैं श्राप देता हूँ, I curse you. And as I was getting into the cab, he shouted from his 6th floor. He said, come up. I said, no, I'm going. I'm rowing, crying. He said, come up. And he called up the Rajshri production and he said, he has done a scene right now in front of me. I don't think I'll be able to make this film with anybody else. If you want to make this film, make it. Otherwise, I'll take it to somebody else. And as they say, rest is history.
Wow.
And I suddenly realized while answering your question, I am still the same man.
Same hunger.
I still have the same hunger to prove it to the world that I can do it. So that's what the theme of the film is. The great Panday, in IMDb, they put a lot of all your work, but you are credited with 107 films. What is that defining moment of your career so far? That in these 107 films.
I mean, if I had to remember any one particular dialogue or one particular scene, I think it would be the scene from Tezab. It's my introduction where I have a rich man who comes to this cafe to have coffee, and I throw a 10 rupee note. I throw the note under the table and he kind of goes to pick it up and I tell him, no, it's Bombay. Whatever you find out here, you have to split it 50-50. It's my own note.
Yeah.
So he says, but I tell him, okay, there's one thing you can do for me. You can keep the note, just pay my bill. And I'm having a cup of tea and he agrees to do it. And actually my friends are eating biryani and all food downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And when I'm leaving the restaurant, I tell that guy, the boss will pay the bill. And of course, he ends up paying a huge bill. So that was kind of very close to my heart. And after shooting that scene, the director told me that he'd actually done this in real life to someone. So that will always stay in my mind. That film and that scene will always stay with me forever.
Okay.
So Kher Saab, this film Vijay 69 is about second chances, and you are actually chasing a dream which you've never been able to fulfill in your life and trying to make an achievement. But in your real life, is there any kind of achievement dream that you still have to fulfill because you've done so much?
So there's a line in the trailer. It says that dreams have no expiry date.
सपनों की ना कोई एक्सपायरी डेट नहीं होती.
So many dreams, so many things. I've been very lucky to been part of so many amazing films, not only in India but also Bend It Like Beckham, Silver Linings Playbook, Hotel Mumbai, my series New Amsterdam, Big Sick. I've been very fortunate, very high-profile films. I want to actually just do a walk-on role in a Clint Eastwood film.
Oh my God.
Just a walk-on role. I did that Woody Allen film, You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger. I did 3 scenes. I remember that there was something very interesting on the first shot. First shot was Frida Pinto was in it. So he was explaining to his director. So the camera moves from here, he moves, it catches. You know, he has these party scenes. And you go to him, and then my character is turning the page of a magazine, then you go to this couple, then you go there, and then you go there, and finally you go on Frida Pinto. Okay, ready? Yes, okay. Action. So the cameraman did everything, he came and I was, finally, cut. Okay, next shot. But cameraman came running, he said, no, I missed so many people. He said, that's what I liked about it. It's about life, that you miss so many people.
Wow.
So I think if I get to stand on a
Clint Eastwood.
In a Clint Eastwood film, that will be wonderful.
So the woods are lonely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep.
Wow.
And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. There you are. Tell me, Mr. Anupam Kher, our film is coming, Vijay 69. If you had to describe this film to the world in, let's say, a few lines, what would it be?
I think in our lives, we get into a situation where your real life traumas, real life experiences get mirrored in cinema. This happened when Akshay Roy, our director, came to me with the film. It's about obviously a man called Vijay, who is at the age of 69, who is going through this identity crisis, that if somebody asked him what is so special about your life, he really suddenly realizes that there is nothing special about him. And then he chooses to run a triathlon to make his presence felt into the world. And that's a crisis, that's an issue with most of the people, whether they are 69 or whether they are 39, they are dealing with. So you are playing this Fali, this Parsi best friend of Vijay. So what is the characteristic of Fali that you find in Chunky Panday, the actor?
What I loved about Fali is he's a little eccentric. As you've seen my work before, I've always caricatured characters, and I must say that you've been very helpful to me by telling me to play this character down and make it more realistic, and I really enjoyed doing that.
You're also imbibed the goodness of Fali, which is there inherent in you.
Oh,
You have a great goodness about yourself.
thank you.
And Fali is that, I think.
So I guess Fali also plays that bounce board, that friend who can criticize you, that friend who can encourage you and be there at that
And cheer for you.
cheer for you and your 4 a.m. friend. So I think our real life friendship has kind of helped us to ink that a little better.
Absolutely.
In this film at 69, you're attempting to do the triathlon, and I know how hard you worked in this film. But back in the day, say I'm taking you back like 30 years ago, and someone came to you with a film like this, an athletic film, and told you to run a triathlon, would you do it then in your career?
Well, to take away the physical aspect of it, it would have been easier because I was 30 years younger. But I think symbolically, I have been running triathlon for the last 40 years.
How's that?
I have done 540 films in 40 years.
Wow.
So it's a triathlon I have been running.
It's more than a triathlon.
And I'm not stopping. I did my triathlon when I was 28. I played a 65-year-old man. It was my first film. Saransh was my first film, my first debut film. And I was 28, I played a 65-year-old man. So I have been running a triathlon all my life, and sometimes winning and sometimes losing. But this is a winning film.
And now at 69, you're playing a 28-year-old. Beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, physically playing it is fantastic.
Spirit-wise, yes.
Yep.
Like Fali is the support system of Vijay. You said yourself, he's a bouncing board, he is a cheerleader for him. Is there in your real life any Fali who sort of is that?
I think that my real life Fali was my mother.
Achha.
Yeah, she was the one who pushed me to do a lot of things in my life.
Okay.
She didn't let me do a lot of things, like I always wanted to be a pilot. She never let me fly. When I couldn't become a doctor, which I was supposed to become because both my parents were doctors, I decided to be an actor, and she really encouraged me. She says, yes, go for it, do it. And there were many times I ran away from screen tests, and I'd call her and said, Mom, I can't do it. She says, no, if you run away from it now, you'll never be able to do it in your life. And I think there was so much encouragement she put in me, gave me, that I think I am what I am today because of my mother.
My father was my Fali.
He was?
Yeah, he was my biggest fan. From the time he saw my first play when I was in 5th grade till he saw my last film before he passed away, his expression was the same. Wow, what a son, what an actor he is. Even my horrible films, he used to say, what a performance my son has done. He used to get into my fan pictures also. If some fan is taking a picture with me, he will also get into that picture.
How sweet.
Yeah, I think it's so wonderful of you to say that.
Yeah, so when you have that love from the parents,
Yeah.
I think makes life much easier.
Easier. My friends, this is Chunky Panday. I'm Anupam Kher. We are primarily Indian actors. Our film, Vijay 69, written and directed by Akshay Roy and produced by Manish Sharma and YRF presentation. It's coming on Netflix on 8th of November. Do watch it.
Please share your thoughts by leaving a review on IMDb.